What's going on, my fellow gamers? My name is Vix, and welcome to Back in the Day episode 8. Now, for those of you who don't know what Back in the Day is, Back in the Day is an original series where I tell you a story of the past or my childhood, and hopefully you guys enjoy it and get a kick out of it. So, this is kind of different, and I really don't know if you'll find it hilarious or not, but it was quite funny in actual person. So, a couple of years ago, I think 4 years ago from 2012, and Happy New Year, by the way, guys, if you didn't see my Happy New Year video. So, 4 years ago, me, my dad, and a couple of my cousins slash friends, we went on a road trip. Now, basically what happened was my mum and my sister, they left. They just went on a holiday themselves. They're like, we're going on a girly trip, so you guys can't come. And I was like, I was disheartened, and I was like, okay, fine, do one, get lost, we don't need you. And me and my dad were left in the home alone. So I was like, Dad, I want to go on a holiday as well. So Dad was like, okay, you know what? Where do you want to go? Do you want to go Spain? Do you want to go, I don't know, France? Where do you want to go? And I was just thinking, okay, how about, I don't know, what do we want to do? And he's like, alright, how about we go on a road trip? And I was like, Dad, you serious? And he's like, yes, let's go on a road trip. Gather some of your friends and see if they want to go. So I was like, okay. So a couple of weeks passed by. I asked a couple of my friends and a couple of my family members. And I think I had one friend and two family members. And basically it was 5 of us. And my dad decided to take the car. And we were like, okay, let's do this. So, from England, from the UK, from Manchester where I live, it took 21 hours exactly to get to Austria. That was the place where we were going. So we got to Austria, right, and my dad was knackered because he pulled through 21 hours straight, and I'm sure that's against the law, but hey, who gives a shit? He pulled 21 hours straight when he was going to Austria, Salzburg, and God, he was such a beast. He just went right through it. I think I lasted for 13 hours, and then I was just tired because my PSP ran out of battery, and I was like, you know what, screw this, I'm going to sleep. And I left my dad on his own, so that was kind of mean of me. But my dad pushed through all of it and got to Austria in 21 hours, and we had more time to enjoy our visit there. So once we got to Austria, my dad was knackered, so he went to sleep, and me and my friends went exploring. We did all the hib and jab, and then the next day my dad woke up. He had a good rest, he was refueled with energy, and he was ready for adventure. So he decided that we should go check out the ice caves, and I was really excited because I have never seen an ice cave before in my whole life, and God, they are beautiful and amazingly cold, as one would expect, because it's an ice cave. What the hell do you want? So eventually we got to Salzburg, and in Austria, Salzburg, there's this huge ass mountain, and you've got to climb it. So it took us 1.5 hour hike to actually get to the top, and once we finally got to the top, I shit you not, we were knackered. Me, my dad, my cousins, my friends, and we're not the unfittest guys in the world, but God, we were knackered. We were so tired, and it was immensely hard to get up that hill. And of course there were cable carts, which we took halfway, because you can only go halfway to get to the cable cart, which takes you a further, I don't know, 200, 300 feet up in the air. And God, that was scary, of course, because I'm just looking down and there's clouds below me, and it was a pretty good view though. So finally we got to the ice caves, right, and my friend Pat, I'm going to call him Pat because that's a fake name and I like to use it in my commentaries. So Pat was knackered, and Pat was probably not the fittest guy around. So Pat was knackered, and we were all tired. But what happened was this tour guide gave us all ice lanterns and said that we have to walk more inside the ice cave because it's cold and we got to keep moving. And we were like, all right, that makes sense, but how much do we have to walk? And he's like, you have to walk quite a bit. And we were like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, it's quite a strength threatening. He said it was hard, basically, and we were like, oh, come on, are you serious? And we were tired, and we were, wow. And then finally we got to the ice cave. So he opened the doors. There was these 2 wooden doors, and once he opened the doors, this gust of air just hit us on our faces, and it was so cold. I'm not joking, guys. Like, have you ever imagined when you open your house door, hot air just comes out and you're like, yes, home sweet home, because it's nice and warm? Well, imagine that, but freezing cold air hitting your face. And God, we didn't want to go inside, but we paid for the ice caves. We were like, we're getting our money's, we're Asians, we need to go in there, we need to get our money's worth. So we go in there, and God, we were so tired. So halfway through the ice cave tour, Pat was knackered. Pat was really tired and decided that he doesn't want any more, so he decided to sit down. Now, unlucky for Pat, there's no sitting arrangements in the ice cave, so what he ended up doing was he sat on the ice. Now, for those of you who don't know, sitting on ice is not the best thing to do in an ice cave. First of all, Pat's arse was warm from all the moving, and Pat is a big guy, so he has a big arse. So his arse was warm and the ice caves were cold, and what ended up happening was that, he got stuck. And the tour guide said, okay, let's move on to the next area. And Pat was like, oh. So he's about to get up, and he's like, Vix, and I'm like, what? He's like, I'm stuck. I'm like, Pat, come on, I know you're tired, let's get up. He's like, no, I'm really stuck. I was like, are you serious? And he's like, yes, I'm stuck on the freaking ice. And I'm like, how the hell do you stick to ice? And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, let me just call my dad. So I call my dad, and me and my dad are trying to, you know, pull Pat off the ice, but he doesn't come off. He's like literally stuck on the ice, like it's conjoined with his arse somehow. And then I asked some of my friends and cousins to help this guy out. Then I asked some random tour people to come and help me out as well. I'm like, speaking in English, I'm like, help us out, guys. My friend is stuck on the ice, and they're just laughing their asses off. So eventually there's like 6 of us now trying to get Pat up, and finally we get Pat up, unnoticed by the tour guide. And Pat's like, okay, I'm not sitting on the ice again. So finally we finish the ice cave tour, and we come outside, and Pat's like, fucking hell, I can't believe I got stuck on ice. And me and my dad, we were just laughing our asses off. So we get outside, and Pat's right behind us because he was just tired, and he was right behind us. We go down the hike, and we hear some girls laughing their asses off. We're like hey, giggling and stuff, and we're like, what are those guys laughing at? And we actually thought they were pulling some kind of prank on us. And then I had to tie my shoelaces, so I went down and I was tying my shoelaces, and Pat went in front of me, and I saw it. I saw the moon. I saw his arse cheeks, both of them just hanging out. What had happened was that when we pulled Pat off the ice, the the fabric of his pants got stuck on the ice and was left there. And God, oh my God, it was the worst view. And I was like, oh my God, Pat, cover your backside. He was like, what? And he was like, I am getting kind of a breeze. And then he felt his ass, and it was bare naked. And we were like, dude, cover it up, cover it. Oh my God. And we couldn't stop laughing. And I told my dad, and my dad was laughing. And we all saw Pat's backside, which wasn't the prettiest thing. I mean, there was hair, man. There was hair on it. Oh my God, damn it. And it wasn't the prettiest thing around, so it was kind of disgusting. But Pat left fabric on the ice. Now, the funny bit over here is that we were actually admiring some. Well, we weren't admiring. We were seeing some guys' ashes in the thingy. So Pat was sitting near a guy's urn, and his pant, and I think some of his skin was left there as well, but his pants were a big ass pant fabric of Pat's pants are left in the ice cave. I just want to go back to Austria and check that shit out and see if the pant fabric is still there, or has it been removed, or is it still there, which will be made for an amazing trip. But that is it, guys. That is Back in the Day episode 8. I hope you guys did enjoy. Now, guys, a quick question. I'm kind of getting a little bored of Call of Duty, so I'm thinking, would you guys mind if I do some other playthrough on some other kind of game? If you guys can tell me a game or certain games, would you please put it in the comment section below? I really do hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to leave a like or a favorite or a subscription or whatever the hell you want to do. But thank you for watching. My name is Vix, and see you soon in my next video.